Okay, so hello everyone, and today we have a special guest with us, which is Mohammed Aiman Koli. So, if you're a speedcuber, you need no introduction for this man. But if you are not, he's probably one of the best speedcubers India has. He holds one world record. He has been to a world championship as well, and he has gotten a world championship podium. He came second in feet, and I can go on and on talking about this guy, but let's not let the man do the talking. So, Eman, how are you?
I'm fine, Yash. How are you?
I'm good too. So, okay, let's start the interview. So, tell us how you got into speedcubing in the first place.
I think basically like everyone else that I know. So I got a Rubik's Cube at home and I couldn't solve it. So I got frustrated. I looked up a YouTube tutorial and then I sat with my dad and I tried to solve it. And once I learned to solve it in like when I was in third grade. Now I'm in 11th. So from like third grade to fourth grade, I kind of quit because third to fifth because I didn't find it interesting, and I didn't have my own phone and stuff that time, so I couldn't look up on YouTube that there are different methods and stuff. So I thought it was just the same thing over and over. Then I picked it up again in sixth grade for a talent show, and once I did that, then I again thought I was gonna quit. But then I went on YouTube and then I saw all of these new methods, new cubes. So I got interested in those, and then I just never stopped.
Okay, that's nice. So, how has your parents' support been with speedcubing?
It's been pretty good. Like I'm really thankful because they've never stopped me from cubing because of any school studies or anything like that. They've always said that if you like it and if you are really interested, you should do it. And even my grandparents, they've taken me for competitions around the world also. Like I've gone to Taiwan and Melbourne for Asians and Worlds. So yeah,
Yes,
the support has been really nice from them.
that's nice. And so, tell us like how you got into feet, because feet is a very different event, we can say, than others.
Yeah, so there was a competition in 2017 coming up. It was called SCMU 2017, and Max Walk was coming to that competition. So obviously, he was going to attract all of the biggest cubers around India. So I was like, I'm probably not going to podium in anything. Like, forget about blindfolded and multi-blind. Like, what event that I'm not going to podium in because Shivam and Abhijit are coming, and that
Yeah.
time I was pretty slow. So I was like, what event can I podium in? And then my close friend Soham, who was organizing a competition, he told me that there's not going to be much competition in feet. So if you really want to get a podium, you should start practicing that. So I started practicing. I got pretty fast, and I corner twisted on my first solve in feet in that competition. And
Okay.
that time it was mean of three. So if you corner twist one solve,
Uh,
your mean is a DNF. It was an average of five that time.
okay.
So I was pretty upset about that. So that gave me motivation. I was like, okay, this time it didn't happen, but next time I'm not going to let my hard work that I did go to waste. So I kept
Mhm.
practicing, and then like few months after that at RCMO, I got my first gold medal there.
Nice. So your first gold medal was in feet only.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe it was in 4BLD. That was my first gold medal in feet.
Okay.
I'm not sure about my first gold medal overall.
Okay. Okay. So, uh, like feet is has been a very different event. So, like, was there any different strategies to getting, like, you got to like world class feet solver level? So, was there a different kind of strategy you took, which is different from other speed cubing events?
Different strategy as in the method to solve the cube.
Everything, like how you practiced and the method, the algorithms, anything.
Okay, so the number one thing about feet is that you can't turn fast because you don't have your hands. So you really have to be very move efficient, and when you take so much time to turn the cube, it gives you a lot of time to think about your next few moves. So
Yes,
one
yes.
thing I really had to develop was good look ahead and trying to reduce my move count, which I was always pretty good at. So that was the main strategy in feet. Like while you're sol- while you're solving a cross, you're doing it really slowly so you can track all the other pieces. You can try to track maybe two pairs instead of one, which I would do in a two-handed solve. So,
Okay.
it was mostly all about just look ahead and turn, like, not trying to increase the TPS because that's not exactly possible, but trying to make use of lower TPS, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yes,
you have
yes.
a limitation, but you use the limitation to uh, get faster.
So how has your experience been with getting a world record and then further on getting a championship podium in the worlds?
The championship podium was a little bit disappointing because I
Yeah.
started off my
Okay.
average really well, but I ended it horribly and I got nervous and I just messed up all of my solves. So yeah, it was a really big achievement. I was happy about it, but deep in my heart, I was always like I could have done better because I
Yep, yep.
lost the first place. Lim Hung, he was like 7 seconds faster than me, so that
Yep.
hurt a bit. But then the world record was the attention after that was really overwhelming, and you like so many big cubers messaging me, congratulating me, and it was a
Yeah.
really new experience. I'd never experienced anything like that before. So yeah, it was really
Mhm.
exciting and overwhelming.
Yeah, that's nice. Who all messaged you? Like all the top guys.
Yeah, like a lot of people who I looked up to for a while.
Okay,
They
like
were, yeah.
Felix, Max, did
No,
those
not
guys?
not Felix and Max. I met
Okay.
Felix at Worlds, and he was judging me for feet actually, which is why I
Oh,
got nervous. But
okay.
some multi-blind solvers like Graham and
Okay.
those guys, they messaged me.
Nice, nice. So you mentioned like blind, and you have recently been into blind as well.
Hmm.
And very quickly, you have gotten very good as well. I think you are like top 30 in the world, or like 15th or 16th in the world for multi-blind,
So
right?
yeah, I when I competed last, I was 10th, but I'm probably lower now. I've not checked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're definitely in the top 20, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So like, how do you think someone should proceed to get into blind and multi-blind?
So number one step is don't think it's harder than it actually is, because that's the first step. Because people don't even know the method and they start making assumptions like you have to memorize every piece, every move, how you're going to track it. So first learn the method and go with an open mind, and it's just memorizing 20 letters, which is not really that much. You can make images in your head, and 20 letters is not much, and you just have to learn a few algorithms here and there. So just learning blindfolded is not difficult, but if you want to get faster, you need to learn three style, and that gets a little complicated because they are like it's a huge number of algorithms. I don't remember, but it
Yeah.
is mostly intuitive. So if you just want to get into blind, my biggest advice is that don't think it's that hard, because it really isn't. Go with an open mind and learn it. And for people who already know blind and you want to get faster, try to learn three style. It is a little bit tricky, but and you will become slow for a while, but it's like C-FOP. You'll get used to it and you'll get faster
Yeah.
in the long term.
Okay. Yeah. That's nice. So how has cubing affected your life? Like you said, you have been cubing since like grade three, and in between you quit, but then after that you have been very consistent with it. So how has cubing affected the way you live your life aside from like having cubing as a hobby?
So it kind of made me unique and set me apart from people. And yeah, so that was just the main thing. Like, I started to stand out from most people because of this really unique hobby, and I'm sure all cubers have experienced it. Like, for a normal person, solving a cube is a really big thing. So if you can
Yeah,
do it really fast, it just sets you apart from people. So that was the main thing. And other than that, nothing much. It's just been a hobby which I've been doing. It's just given me a nice way to spend my time.
yeah, I think it's the same with a lot of
Mm.
us. So how has your life been outside of cubing? Like you're in grade 11 right now, so any
Mm.
plans for the future? Like most of us here are college students actually.
Yeah.
So what college do you aim for or something if you want to share?
I honestly have no idea. I've not decided anything for the future. I'm
Okay.
just I'll take my time, I guess. In the holidays, I'll sit down and look at colleges and all. I don't really know what I'm doing as of now. I'm just trying to. I have a lot of schoolwork and external exams and all I'm giving. So right now, I'm just trying to focus on that and get through all of those.
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice. So, by any chance, are you interested in sciences?
Yeah, I like physics and chem a lot.
You should come to ICER. All of us here are from ICES.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Okay, nice. And so, there any hobby aside from cubing? Like you said, you don't really spend a lot of time, but do you spend any kind of time on anything?
Yeah,
Like
I
not a
play.
hobby, but anything. Yeah.
I play a lot of sports, so I do. I've been doing boxing since probably longer than I've been cubing,
Okay.
and so that's like the main sport I play. And other than that, I play cricket on the weekends. I play football occasionally. So other than cubing, I like to spend my time playing sports.
Okay, that's nice. So you're a complete sports person from
Yeah,
the
kind of.
that's but boxing is kind of very unique, like more unique than cubing, shall I say?
Yeah, you could say that. I'm not really sure, but cubing is definitely more impressive for the layperson because they're like, how do you do this? But boxing people just think, oh, you just go in the ring and you just throw your hands around.
Yeah, sure. It gets even more impressive when you tell them you can do blind
Yeah,
and that you are one of the best in the world.
yeah.
That's cool. So coming back to multi-blind and big cube blind as well. So have you ever tried like Stanley Chappell has been like completely destroying all
Hmm,
big blind records
hmm.
in the past few years. So, is he using any different kind of method, or and do you try? Are you going to learn it?
So I think the only thing that, so obviously he has insane turning speed and he knows basically all the algorithms for three style and a lot of more special algorithms, but that is learnable. People can achieve that turning speed and those algorithms. As far as I know, this is what he's doing, but he does this thing that's called one pass. So most people just do it for 3 by 3 blindfolded. One pass is basically you memorize the cube without any reviews, and I think some people are doing it for 4 blind too, but he probably does it the best. So he never revises his memorization, so that saves him a lot of time on his memo. I memorize at least 2 or 3 times when I'm doing 4 blind and even more when I'm doing 5 blind. So that's what cuts his time down so much. And he even does it for 5 blind. I think he is. I'm not sure about this, but I think he's the only person in the world who does one pass on 5 BLD. And I'm
Wow.
not really trying to learn it. It's
Okay.
difficult for me.
Okay. So you do not plan on learning it
No,
anytime
not as
soon.
of now.
Okay. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So talking about the future, like what are your plans for future in terms of speed cubing?
Uh, Nothing much. Just give me a second now.
Huh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, my dad was calling me. So, for the
Ah, not
future,
no
for the
problem.
future in terms of speed cubing, I I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just doing it as a hobby for now. If I get any opportunities to make it a career in the future, I'll obviously be open to it. But I'm just planning to keep it as a hobby for now. Something just for fun. I don't really plan to do something out of it. I just want to do it for fun for now.
Okay, so no plans to like rigorously improve yourself and try to be
No, and I don't even have that much time right now because of school. Maybe after 12th, we'll see.
after 12th.
Yeah, when I get a little more time.
That
Hopefully.
can happen definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I think I'm done with my questions.
Hmm.
If someone else wants to ask anything, they can. They're free to ask.
Is there any like random or fond memory that you have from any of the any of the WCA events that you have been to?
My most
Like anything
fond
that stood out?
memory, like obviously, my most fond memory was the moment I got the world record because the whole venue was going crazy. Everyone was screaming because in India we don't really witness many world records. So that was probably my most fond, and aside from that was probably world championships where Felix was judging me for one of my feet solves, and it showed me even though he's such a big cuber, literally every cuber knows his name. He's still so humble. He's helping out in his home country, hosting world championships. When they're short of judges, he's helping them judge. So that was a cool moment too.
Yeah, that is actually nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a question.
Mm.
You said that India does not get a lot of world records, which is
Mm.
true. So, what do you think is the reason behind this?
Uh, I really have no idea. I think people just aren't that aware of how to solve like people don't really take interest in the Rubik's cube in India, and also we have a real shortage of competitions. If you
Yeah.
just see the last year, we've had zero competitions, obviously because of COVID, but other countries are holding competitions. So that's one thing. We have a shortage of competitions. Not many people know about the Rubik's Cube. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe in India, because we have like some of us are in schools that give a lot of work. We don't really get much time
Hmm.
to practice. Like even I don't get much time now. So yeah, I think those are some of the reasons.
Do you think like schools should give more time to people who are like top level cubers?
Or I mean, it's difficult to say because studies are important too. But I
Yeah.
do feel that generally, not only for cubers, for anyone who's playing a sport or something, there should be some sort of exceptions. I don't know if it's really possible to do this, but it's just a suggestion, or just something that's been at the back of my mind. Like school should give more time to extracurriculars and more focus on it.
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah, it's also important as well as studies.
Completely agree.
I
Any more
have another
questions?
question.
Yeah.
So, have you been to any competitions organized by a school?
My school and I were actually planning to organize one in April 2020, but then it got cancelled because of COVID.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
my school is supportive of cubing, and they've given me leave whenever I've gone for competitions. So this was like the final step to get my school to organize one, but then it got cancelled.
I see.
Okay, any more questions, everyone?
Yeah, okay. So I have a question. So basically, I am relatively a slow cuber, like about 20 seconds, but
Hmm.
I want to begin with BLD. So can you tell me how can I begin with BLD? I don't know
Uh,
full CFOP yet.
so for BLD, you just need to know one algorithm for like one CFOP algorithm, which is the YPerm. Like you don't need to know; it'll help you a lot. So it's a PLL algorithm and it's used in BLD a lot. And other than that, just search up a tutorial on YouTube. There are so many on YouTube, you'll easily find one. And if you don't understand the first one, just move on to the next one. Find something that works for you. And for beginners who want to get into BLD, I suggest learning the M2 OP method. So there's OP and there's M2 OP. Those are the two beginner methods. I feel OP is really slow and M2 is a better method. So if you're a beginner, you want to get into it, get into M2 OP, and there are a lot of tutorials.
But
Thank you.
M2OP also has like exception cases and stuff, right?
Yeah, but there are a few exceptions, but it's like a lot faster
Okay.
because in
So,
OP, what you have to do is every time you want to solve two edges, you need to do a T-perm, which is like I think 14 moves if I'm not wrong. And in M2 OP, all you need to do is M2 to swap two pieces.
yeah,
So you can see how much faster it is.
yeah. How fast do you think one can get with M2OP?
I got to around high 30 seconds, like
Okay.
38, 39. It was with M2OP and a little, like a few three style tricks. So it wasn't pure M2OP, but I'm pretty sure you can get to like low 30 seconds, but it's you'll have to put in a lot of hard work. So when you get to around less than a minute, you should ideally learn three style if you want to go that far in BLD.
Yep. Okay. So like using three style, you can get to beyond 30 seconds.
Three style you can get world class. You can get under 20 seconds if you practice hard enough.
Yes. Okay.
I had another question.
Yep.
So something that I noticed in my school over the last like 3-4 years is that for some reason like the cubing culture really picked up over the last 3-4 years, where like students were getting involved, different standards were getting involved, even the teachers were getting involved. So like you also said that your school had a pretty nice cubing culture. Was that also the case here? I'm sure you also had something to do with that.
Yeah, we had a cubing club actually in our school.
Okay.
So some people from Cube Nama, the organization I work with, they used to come to school and they taught us, and we basically had a club. Now we don't have it anymore because school is online. So yeah, the cubing culture was good. We had like I think 15, 20 people in that club just from our grade, and I think the grade below also. And then the other grades I'm not sure about. So a lot of people in our school were involved in cubing, but the thing about our cubing culture was that it had hype for a while and then it died down. There were very
I
few
see.
people who just stuck with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. For us, it was kind of like as I was passing out, it said like out of school, it felt like
Mm.
everyone was getting into cubing,
Yeah,
which was really strange.
yeah, yeah. So, all schools have that phase, I think, where everyone gets interested in one thing. If it
Yeah,
either it be Rubik's cube or cricket or football, anything.
that's very true.
Yeah.
How do you feel about online events? Do you join them often these days?
Online cubing competitions.
Yes, any
I
kind of online
used
cubing
to
event.
I used to do them a lot to stay in practice, but now I don't think I've done it in over a year because firstly I've had a lot of work and stuff, and also the best thing about competitions wasn't actually competing. It was going and socializing with people, meeting your friends, learning new things, and to just sit at home and compete, it gets a little boring. So I just feel like I might as well just practice myself. So I don't really join them that often.
That's actually true.
Mm.
Socializing is a big
Yeah,
part of any event.
yeah.
Any more questions? Anyone?
Do you want to plug in the EICS weekly thing?
Can you repeat that?
No. I was asking
Oh,
Yash.
okay.
Yash, do you want to plug in the EICS weekly thing?
I am not understanding that.
The EICS weekly basis.
What?
Okay, I'll just
Tell
say
him about AICS. Tell him about
Ah,
AICS.
go ahead, Purva.
what? Oh, okay, sure. So, well, some of us at ISers, there are different ISers at different places: Pune, Kolkata, Mohali, Birampur, Bhopal, and yeah, there are a few more. And we just unofficially started a cubing society of sorts, which we now call the All ISer Cubing Society. That was somewhere around last year, February 2021, I think. Since then, we have been conducting um, smaller events like weekly races where we just give out a form and people solve on their own time during a range of time slot, and they just and then they just submit it, and we have a casual system like that so that everyone gets something to do during the like at the during the weekend. So yeah, if you are interested anytime, feel free to join us. Like
Yeah,
the AICS
sure.
thing.
The thing is, right now I'm completely packed with exams and stuff.
Yeah,
At least until mid-March, I'll be completely
that will be
packed.
true.
After that, I'll look into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, we'll probably send the
Yeah.
link or something.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll send the link if whenever you want to join, you can join.
Yeah, sure.
Any more questions?
So currently on 3 by 3, I don't know OLL, and my average it's not very consistent. I sometimes average 14, sometimes I average 16, 17. So at what stage should I start learning OLL? I mean, can I get
Uh,
to sub 12 without OLL?
See, you can do it, but it's much harder to get to sub 12 without OLL than to do it with OLL. So it's like the thing I said about 3 style and M2. You can get to under 30 seconds with M2, but it'll just be so much easier if you do it with 3 style. So it's the same thing with OLL. And now that you're averaging 14, you're actually really fast without learning OLL. So I suggest you learn it now, and you will slow down for a while because you'll take time to get used to it. But in the long term, it'll help you a lot. It'll cut down at least, I think, a second or more than that from your solves.
Okay.
One question I had. What do you think is the human limits for PLD?
Uh, Probably like around 11 to 12 seconds on an average. I feel it's possible.
11 to 12 on average you can
Yeah,
reach.
like right now, I think Tommy Cherry got a 14, didn't he?
Yeah,
A
yeah, yeah.
while back. Yeah, I think, and Abhijit, if you know him, Abhijit
Yeah,
is a blind solver. He's developing five style, which is instead of swapping three pieces, you
oh,
swap five. So if someone is humanly possible, if it's humanly possible to learn all of those algorithms, it'll be a really difficult task. You'll probably have to dedicate your whole life to it. But if someone managed to do that, I think 10, 11 seconds is easily achievable.
oh wow, okay. I average 11 like in normal
Yeah,
Cuban.
I average just a little less than that.
No, you
So
were sub 10, no?
yeah, I'm sub 10, but I got to around sub 9, but now I'm a little slower because I'm a bit rusty.
Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone? So if and no one has any questions, can you do a blind solve for us?
Okay, sure. I don't have a blindfold, so I'll just put my head down.
Okay, sure.
I'll just memorize it.
Huh, okay. Ah, nice. That's
That was
amazing.
really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you also do a feet solve if that's possible?
I don't have a mat with me, that's the only thing. I need a mat, otherwise the cube just slips around.
Ah,
Ah,
okay.
yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Okay, not a problem.
Hmm.
So any more questions anyone has?
How are
Yeah,
your
okay, so
yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
Vishal, you can go on.
Okay, okay. I was just asking how your experiences were at the Asian Championships in Taiwan.
It was, in terms of results, it was horrible. I
Acha.
went in with a lot of expectations and then I failed everything because it was my first international competition and I got really nervous. But in terms of just the competition, it was really nice because it was the first time I met all of these world class cubers like Felix and Max.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
was really cool meeting to them and interacting with them, and they were so humble. Like
Hmm.
Felix let me try his 7x7. That time the Haze 7x7 was new; it wasn't released, so I'd never tried it.
Okay,
So I asked him for it, and he let me try it.
Right.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I have. It's just all these top cubers. They're really humble and nice as well.
Yeah,
Like, I got to interact with them once, but like it was really cool.
yeah, they're really nice guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I was asking that um, when you have to do a cycle in, let's say, edge swapping, then there's a particular cycle in OP method after which a cycle ends, right? So you have to track the pieces which are getting solved. So how do you track them exactly? Like I was having a lot of difficulty in doing that.
I didn't understand your question. Like how to
Ah,
memorize
okay,
the
okay. So,
pieces.
no, no, no. Like we have to swap pieces
Uh,
from the buffer position, right?
yeah.
So what happens is if a cycle gets ended, you have to
Uh,
find an unsolved piece.
hmm,
So we need to keep track of what pieces we solved in the first cycle.
yeah.
So I always get confused in that.
Yeah. So after practicing for a while, when you're just thinking about your memorization, you'll automatically know that okay, this piece I haven't landed on. But when I was a beginner, what I used to do is I kept my I'll point it down. I used to keep my cube on the ground like that, and I used to uh just like keep my fingers on the pieces I'd solved. And sometimes it gets uncomfortable because there are 12 edges and you have 10 fingers. So I stopped tracking the middle pieces. Like uh if I got a memorization with A in it, I would not keep my finger on A. So I would keep my finger on all the outer layer pieces, and then mentally I would just remember, okay, I've done A and C and S is left. So just use your fingers and figure out a method that works for you.
Oh, that's a nice.
Ah, okay, okay,
After
okay.
some time you'll get
That's
after some time you'll automatically know which one is unsolved.
oh, okay. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, by the way, do you know Vaishak by any chance? He also went to Worlds 2019. He
Oh,
was one of the few Indians who went there. Vaishak.
I must have met
Yeah.
him, but I don't recall.
Yeah. I was also there. I think it was like 7 or 8 Indians, right? At
Yeah,
Worlds.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
Were you
very
sitting with
fast.
us on the
I
table where we
I
were
don't
all
think
together?
so. I don't think I
Oh, then
was.
yeah, then I probably didn't meet you. We had a
I,
table for the Indian
uh,
team.
oh, I see. I didn't even know about it. I think that
Oh,
was, yeah. Yeah, but I'm not I'm not very fast. I didn't really go there with
that's
like
fine. Like
expectations.
everyone was hanging out with us.
Yeah,
We were
yeah,
fast. We didn't have a flag or anything up on our table, so it would have been hard to
yeah.
tell. We were just sitting together.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions, anyone?
What made you get into 3 by 3 feet? In
Basically, uh, I wasn't fast at anything else, and no one used to do feet in Mumbai at least. So I was like, I can get an easy podium if I start practicing feet, especially in major competitions. And then I got faster at it, and then I just kept getting faster.
Any more questions, anyone? If not, I think we can end this interview here.
Yeah, I suppose we
So
could.
I think Shivam was, yeah, it didn't have flag bearer, and then they got Shivam to do it. I think.
Yeah, I remember they were calling like anyone from India,
Yeah,
like because like till the very end they didn't
yeah,
have
they
one.
didn't have any. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Purva, you were saying something?
No, I was saying, yeah, I think we could end it here.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, sure, I think.
Thank you so much for coming, Aiman.
No,
All the
no
best for
problem.
your
Thanks
exams.
for having me. It
Yeah,
was
thank you.
nice
Thank you.
meeting
Thank
you.
you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See
And
you
all the
guys.
best for your
Thanks
exams.
for inviting me. Thank you. All the best.
All the best.
All the
All the
best,
Bye.
man.
best. Yes. Hopefully we can meet each other. Oh, he's left. Okay.
He's left. He's left.